Hello, 6th of May, it is Sunday, 14 minutes past 10 a.m. here in Australia, and here's my latest video blog. Today I'm going to do an awareness video on Yumerium. Now, Yumerium is a blockchain-based open gaming platform coming out of Korea, and it is targeting the gaming niche. And I've been watching for and been waiting for a lot more of these particular types of platforms. However, there are a couple out there, and they are looking at encouraging development and encouraging the gamers to get involved at a different level in regards to gaming. And what Yumerium's looking at doing is disrupting the existing gaming market. Now, I still haven't seen Sony and Xbox come forward with their blockchain options or their tokenizations or any of that type of initiatives as yet. So I think this is a massive market. There is no doubt gaming as a whole is $1 billion industry, and it'll be very, very interesting to see how these particular platforms go in the long run. Now, Yumerium is going to be targeting, I think, initially in the Korean market share. So that's where they're based. They've got existing infrastructure over there. They've got existing games, and I think they've got existing virtual reality studios and development. So the power of the internet obviously allows people to get involved from all around the world. But from what I can see, Yumerium is focusing on Korea, and they're going to work out from there. Now, I've opened up a whole heap of tabs of relevance, and I've jumped into the white paper. I actually like the white paper. It's formatted like this. It's quite easy to read. Some of the other white papers are sort of like a PDF or Word document. They're quite hard to digest with all the text and lots of technical stuff. This is really getting to the nitty-gritty, and I've opened up a whole heap of pages which I thought were relevant. Now, the existing gaming market as we know it has evolved. I grew up in I was born in the 70s, but I grew up in the 80s and 90s and watched gaming actually start and evolve. And I grew up with things like Space Invaders and Pac-Man, and then it evolved to things like Sonic the Hedgehog and Tomb Raider when it first came out on PlayStation, and then through the 2000s we've seen PC and all sorts of things really evolve, and now we've got mobile phone games and all sorts of things happening. So it's a very, very big market. Now, the way developers actually earn money now is that you pay for the game, or you pay for subscriptions to get online. You have to buy all the infrastructure, PCs, etc., and get involved that way. Obviously, with mobile phones and iPads and things like that, you can download free versions of the games, get addicted to it, then you find that you have to go to the shop and actually spend more money to get to the next level. So that's how they get you. They obviously get you addicted and then try to get you to buy something to progress through the game. So that's free to play. However, there's a bit of a trap there. The third one is earn to play. Now, this is the amazing part of blockchain. It's the gamification and the tokenization of everything that we do in our world. How does that relate to gaming? Obviously, you get Yum tokens for playing their games. And I think that it's going to be an ecosystem of developers, most likely sponsors, the gamers themselves, and Yumerium as well as the platform, and bringing all of these particular people into one place and, like I said, gamifying the experience. So, now I've got a little video here. It's just a 1-minute video.
Two payment systems, either pay to play, where you pay developers up front, or free to play, where the game is free, but developers make money microtransactions. This creates a problem. Even though both gamers and developers play and work hard, only the latter gets any tangible reward. That's why we created Yumerium, the earn-to-play system using blockchain technology. By making earn-to-play decentralized, we can bring game publishing and marketing cheaper, and these savings are then given to players, developers, and investors. Yumerium is already backed globally by different investors and is being developed by Subdream Studios, an indie game studio with a track record of successful games. The studio is also owners of VR Plus, the biggest VR franchise in Korea. They'll be helping us bring the system to classic arcades. Check us out at Yumerium.com. Yumerium. Work hard, play hard, earn hard.
So they've got existing infrastructure. They've got a development company. They've got Subdream Studios. They've got the VR, and I've just got a slide here. I'll bring that up. and they've got the VR arcade, which exists. It's in Korea. I've seen photos, so it's actually there. Obviously, the gamers are there. They're all out there, and what they're doing is now encouraging game developers to get involved into the entire space. So, game developers, an existing arcade, the gamers, and then the Subdream Studios online platform. Now, where are they coming from? I had a quick look at who these people are. I think they're looking at GalaNet. Now, GalaNet has already got an existing free-to-play infrastructure, and their publisher is GPotato in the US. So again, they've got a foundation, which means that they've got users, they've got gamers, they've got a little bit of market share, which already exists, which gives them a little bit of leverage when introducing a new product like this. They're not starting off from scratch. So that's a major positive, and if they can move towards the earn-to-play model, I think they're going to have great success, as long as the games are good. And I think that's the big thing. It doesn't matter how good your white paper is and your platform and all of these token incentives. The games have to be relevant to a particular niche. Now, there's no doubt there's a whole heap of different sectors. We've got young kids through to teenagers. We've got the more mature gamers, and I think there's something that appeals to everyone. Now, the big thing about gaming industry, it's massive. It's a $109 billion market. And they're looking and saying it's going to expect to get to about 128 billion by 2020. So there's a lot of market share to be obtained, and I don't know the full numbers on how much Sony and Xbox and a lot of the PC games and esports and all of these different things that are out there, how much of a market share they've got. I imagine it's pretty solid. So I'd be actually surprised to see that Sony and Xbox don't respond at some stage in regards to a blockchain or a tokenized incentive of some sort to compete with some of these platforms. Maybe they don't see it as a threat. Maybe the gaming or the VR. Well, you would think that VR or the virtual reality sector is a massive industry, and that anyone that's going into that space has the ability to obtain market share. So will they respond? I'm sure they will. Now, Subdream Studios existing in South Korea, I think. When I talk about Korea, I think it's South. And they've got some existing studios where you can actually play these virtual reality games, and I think they've got 4 games that exist, and they're building on top of those as a starting point, and they've been testing these out in their virtual reality to get lots of information from the users so that they can improve the user experience. So they've got Crypto Mine, Hell Dimension, Kingdom Watcher, and Mega Overlord. Now, I have had a quick look. I have actually played the I've got a Sony PlayStation 4, the new one, and I've got the virtual reality headset, and I've played some of the games. Some of them are pretty sucky, and some of them are actually really, really good. And it's an amazing experience when you get in there to see your 3D world. And I think it's going to absolutely explode, especially when I think the pricing of the actual infrastructure. So I paid about $800 for my goggles, my headset, and once I think that price and a little bit more competition comes out and it gets a little bit more normalised, supply and demand, you'll see the pricing of those particular items drop, and more people can get involved in virtual reality. There is no doubt, I feel, that virtual reality is going to be part of the future. And I can see our operating procedures and how we operate on a daily basis in regards to surfing the internet, our banking, our encrypted communication channels, our social media, and even doing business conference calls, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be done via virtual reality at some stage in the very, very near future for those who want to do that. And I can see it actually being a really, really good experience. A bit like Minority Report with Tom Cruise. He's got all the gesture control type of platforms and desktop type of, well, I don't know, video here of just one of the games. I'll just press play. Get a bit of a feel. It's sort of a bit like one of those mobile games, but this is a virtual reality game. So it is an evolving space in regards to graphics. This will appeal to certain people. It's not Tomb Raider, it's not Assassin's Creed, but that's enough of that. But you can come and check out what they're doing. And again, this is early stages for them, and they're using their existing virtual reality studios to test their games and to encourage developers to get involved and improve the space. They are a Korean-based team, so they are targeting Korea. And I think I have spoken about this quite often, that even though we're on the internet, and blockchain does have a really, really broad community. If anyone's invested in crypto and you're on the telegrams in the particular groups that you're interested in, you'll see that everyone's from around the world. However, some of these particular blockchains are probably going to do better in a specific jurisdiction. So for example, Yumerium with existing studios in Korea is probably going to take off a little bit more there than it would, say, in another part of the world. However, it doesn't mean they're not going to expand, but we'll have to see how broad this particular experience is going to become. Now, they do have tokens. I'm not going to cover too much on the tokens, only because I don't want to give financial advice. This is not a financial video, but I always say it, you've got to show your due diligence when you go into these type of things. You can get invested in blockchain at the moment, and you can buy tokens. And the whole idea of the blockchain is to gamify everything. Okay, so there's going to be incentives, and there's going to be a value of some sort, whether it's $1 million or 0.00001 cent. Value is yet to be seen for all of these different products. I mean, there's a lot of platforms out there that don't even have user products, and they've got massive market caps. It's quite an amazing space. Sometimes the mind boggles. And I did a video yesterday on CryptVisor. CryptVisor's hidden away on CoinMarketCap and on the DEX, and they've got a really good application, and their market cap, I think, is only very, very marginal. So it's quite interesting to see how people's attention in this space does seem to flock to the top 20, top 30, top 50, top 100 on CoinMarketCap. I think there's a lot of people getting invested in things without even doing the research on whether or not they've got to use an end product. And there has been a few scams in the space, so just be mindful. There is some information here on fund allocation if you are interested in that type of stuff. You will have to actually do a KYC, which is pretty normal, and I think that's going to become normal even more so in the future as the SEC and the United States, and not everything's revolved around the United States, even though they think everything revolves around them. There's no doubt. I think just basic transparency in regards to getting involved in some of these platforms is a good thing. Some more security goes a long way. So that is Yumerium. Now, this is it. This is a gaming platform looking to disrupt. But I think the big thing here is the power of enabling and encouraging developers, the gamers, the existing platform and the internet and the tokenization and the security and seamless transaction speeds of blockchain and encryption all into one space is what's going to power not only the future for how we interact with the internet, but how we interact in these different market niches. So gaming platforms is just going to be a normal thing. We're going to see this really open up the market, and it's going to be a race who can create the best looking and the really fun games, and then it's going to be just a massive rush towards virtual reality in time, especially, like I said, when our normal interactions on a daily basis become virtual reality. But that's Yumerium. Let me know what you think of Yumerium. If you're a gamer, or maybe you're a game developer who's maybe one of these bedroom producers, like in regards to music, maybe this is going to open up some talent, some young kids out there who are pretty good with software development, who want to actually get their games out there, can get in touch with platforms like Yumerium. There's no doubt it must be pretty big in some of these Asian countries, and it might actually give these guys an opportunity to earn some extra money on the side and be a part of something big. So Yumerium, that's all I got on that one for now, and thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the support. Check me out on my Steemit and on my I have actually got a tab here. This is my website, Online Coaching Australia. I do under learning library under video blog. I've got all my crypto blogs. They're also on my YouTube, of course. So if you've missed one, you can come and have a bit of a read. These are articles, by the way, so I do put some key links, and I do have a little bit of a say, a little bit more beyond just a video. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and tune into my next video.